Oh my God, SBZ in the building. Sick of being hella modest. I'm really feeling myself, let's be honest. Ooh, it ain't tricking if you got it. Pick apart the truth, the prophet, the goddess. Ooh, stash pockets for the chronic. Yeah, gas coming from a closet. Everybody want the profit. Now we're never Arizona, the hottest. Like yeah. Up one time for the tuck, like yeah. Breaking this back on the track, like yeah. Man, I did my time. I ain't never going back, and I'm on my grind. Gotta burn these tracks. See me, OT. Gotta earn these racks. See me with cheese. Gotta kill these rats with a piece that be right on and slap like yeah.
Dripping so hard, I'll probably catch a wave.
Yeah.
Dripping so hard, I'll probably catch a wave. Yeah. I am too real, you can check all the facts on me. Speaking the checks, so they all couple back to me. Speak on my name, better know it, get back to me. Say they won't beat, but these hoes may be backs to me. Peter Piper want my piece of pie. Pick opponents like a piece of pie, then I meditate like namaste. Gotta practice patience for some peace of mind. Walk like a talk, so I'm real smooth. U-Haul flow, make a big move. Busy is a busy bee. Busy made the beat, so you know I had to kill it too.
If you ain't getting to the money, then bitch, you get no respect. We can't do business if you can't pass that Lizzie Page credit check. I got C notes on deck, and it's like I'm having sex when I'm getting to the money. But what the fuck, honey, you can't take. Let the funny smoking on that mic F, if the shit ain't funny. I've been walking, now I'm running, but there really is no finish line. Respect the journey, collect my earnings, productive and taking my time. And you still behind, blind to the fact that I'ma get it how I live it. And to the top yet, one sec, mic check, 1, 2, this only take a minute, and I'm with it. I ain't finished though, no 2 chains, but I got a silly flow. Tell me who you here to see when you hit the dough. You little function ain't shit, let's come on the show. Ho, I'm rolling in the dough, and bitch, I will never quit. Ain't hearing what you like, kiss my ass and suck a dick. I'm too legit and fit for this, man, I got it in the bag. I show my ass, it shows to show you what you'll never have. These rappers, they mad, they wanna collab. Want me and your lab, it's gonna cost you a bag. Cause I'm trying to buy some land from my dad. They say I'm no good and they right cause I'm bad.
It's been a long time, shouldn't have left you. Without a dope beat to step to. Without a microphone to wreck to. Without a pen to sign this check to. Never let them disrespect you, cause they're not on your level. Your fingerprint is unique, so you gotta know you special. Let me get right, let me fix my throne and sit right. Gotta keep my crown on the gangster lane, so you know it's gotta be tip right. Rest in peace to fight. I'm on my queen shit. Matter of fact, on my king shit. Mixed the masculine with the feminine energy, that's a ring shit. Like Hope said, this is a reminder. Hop up on that Google engine and you bound to find her. Resume getting whiter. They be like, I like her. Let your work speak for itself and then blessings get nicer. Wow.
Yo, that was fire, man. If y'all getting tired of that, then y'all got something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the queens that did that cipher for us. Yo, welcome to the Takeover Lounge. I'm one of your hosts, Z Give.
I'm Daniela.
And in the lounge today, we got Smash Lames, aka Smash Lames, other known as Pike Romero up in here. You already know what's up. Look at the air horns. Make sure he unmutes himself. You know what I'm saying? So we can hear Pike. Yeah, he's muted. Yo, you go, in there. He was saying stuff. We're like, what? What the heck did he do? What did he do? What's up, Pike? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm trying to share right now.
Straight out. Everybody come see Pike out here doing interviews. Pike, have you ever done interviews like this before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's great.
I haven't done one recently.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and like overall, yeah, I've been chilling for a minute. So
I was like, dang, okay, we got an exclusive Pike Romero up in here. I was like, you know what? We'll take it. Shout out Mankind for booking Pike Romero.
Always love what you do.
Thank you, bro. We love you.
Much love.
So let's get into these questions real quick.
Oh, we're doing
right? We getting into it, Pike.
Jump right in.
This is lounging. We lounging, but we gonna get into it. Actually, where did that picture come from? Where did that picture taken from? That's a fire picture.
That was that's one of our pictures that we took at American Eat Co. and
Okay.
it was for the THHF, the team meetings. We pretty much try to take a picture to show like who's on the team.
Right,
So
of course.
team photos and things like that. So that's just one of them.
That's a good little close up of Pike right
Yeah,
there.
shout out to Julius. That's a 35 millimeter. So it's like
Okay.
it was film. It wasn't digital. So
Wow.
yeah, it's really dope. Really dope.
I'm seeing like a resurgence of film coming back around. You know what I'm saying? The Polaroids and
Yeah.
you know the
I got
Kodak
one.
little wind ups.
I got an old school one right here.
Let's see. Man, you know what? In that room right there that you're in, your studio
so much
or whatever.
history.
My studio.
Exactly. I was gonna say that. I was like, you need to go to Generation Cool and tell Sloppy Robbie, yo, check out what I got, man. Let's see how much I can get.
Shout out to Sloppy.
That's just fact. Shout out Sloppy, man. Holding it out for Tucson.
Yeah.
So, Pike, when you were growing up, did you always want to become a mentor or a DJ or someone in the hip hop industry?
I wouldn't say
music
mentor, not mentor for sure. That was not like I kind of grew into that.
Okay.
But yeah, DJ wise, yeah, I don't know, something gravitated. I would be like on the school bus, like in high school, junior high, and like I'd be like pretending like I was stretching or something. Like that's what I'd be doing. And my friends would actually laugh at me. Like they'd be laughing at me because it looks goofy. So, but yeah, no real intention of like becoming a mentor. But I like in high school breakdancing. I never really rapped. Obviously, like you write down raps, like a lot of people do. But I never did anything with that. I was never good. I don't like writing. I'm not good in school stuff. So.
You're like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave that to the professionals.
Yeah,
you know?
but breaking, like I loved breakdancing. I broke my leg in playing volleyball. And then like I kept breakdancing with a broken leg, like with a cast on, not breaking with
dangly.
You know what I'm saying? Cast on. So it was
What?
yeah.
So Pike was a b-boy back in the day, or what? You used to get
B-boy,
down?
yeah, I love
I
breaking.
never knew that.
Me neither.
Yeah. I love breaking.
Was it were you up in Oklahoma?
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
No, that was here. Like
That was here?
I'm born and raised in Tucson.
Okay, facts.
I was born in Tucson. I lived in Salmon Well, which is about an hour north of here.
Okay.
North, I don't know, northeast, north. And went to like elementary school for like kindergarten there, or not in kindergarten. My parents divorced when I was like 4. Then we moved to the south side, and I went to Grijalva and Hollinger.
Okay.
And then from there, we moved to the north side, and I went to Cross and CDO.
Okay.
And graduated over there. So
Shout out CDO.
here we are today.
Still here.
Yeah, but I moved to Oklahoma for school.
Okay.
My now wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. She went out to school out there, and I was actually at the time I was living in Safford, Arizona.
Okay.
Traveling back and forth to Tucson.
What's in Safford?
So there's not much in Safford.
No disrespect to Safford people, but I mean, what's in Safford?
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, my family, my dad's side lived there, and I was living with my dad at the time, just to kind of like just like heal stuff with dad, So like dad,
Facts. Yeah, you got to
heal up, man. So like I was out there for about a year,
Okay.
and yeah, and I would travel back to like some security job here, and at that time, like even at that time, like there was like no hip hop scene here in Tucson that I was finding, and I was looking, like I was searching for it, and my friends, they would do Christian hip hop, and so really I got started in Christian hip hop. So going to a lot of churches here in town and like seeing like their concerts and hanging out with them. And that's just on the rap side, I guess, because I definitely knew like there was breakers and b-boys and stuff like that. And graffiti obviously was a big thing still. But I was looking for rapping. I was looking for concerts. I was looking for DJs. I couldn't find any of that. So yeah, that was in it was like 2000, 2001, 2003 in that range.
I was only 3, man. You know what I'm saying? I was over here in diapers.
Baby.
I was a baby. I was just walking around. I didn't know nothing about music. I just get down to whatever.
What was your first introduction into hip hop?
I let Daniela answer first. I want to hear.
Yeah, both of you.
For me?
Yeah. She's from
Well,
Canada.
I know, right?
Right.
Well, for me, it was my brother. He was an underground DJ. He made his own beats from literally vinyls. Like, he did not do anything electronical. It was just vinyl scratching. So that's how I grew up. And then when I came to Arizona, I was supposed to do dance at Arizona. Ended up breaking my foot. So I was like, I guess I can't do that anymore. And then I found out that there was a hip hop minor. And so I was like, okay, that will keep me with my dance roots. And then when I was doing the hip hop minor, my advisor said, you're only shy a few credits from the African American Studies major. So then I ended up double majoring in African American Studies and physiology. And then from that, I found out about the Hip Hop Festival in 2018, I think.
Yeah.
And then I became best friends with Marielle, and then that's how I got suckered in.
Woo woo! That was history right there.
That's awesome. That's cool.
That's
I
what's
didn't
up.
realize you were part of that program. That's good.
Yeah, it was actually a really fun program. I mean, there's so many different courses that they did. Like the rap culture and God course was amazing. Hip hop in the cinema, you found literally we studied Scarface. And we're like, oh, this is cool.
That's dope. I don't remember how I even got. I mean, I was so little when I got introduced to hip hop. I mean, you remember scratching. I was kind of. My dad used to drive me. He used to have this Camry, this brown Camry, like I don't know, 1999 or something like that. Yeah, a little hoopty. He had subs in the back, and it was when 50 Cent when 50 Cent dropped "Get Rich or Die Trying," and we were going to my preschool, and he was younger at the time, so he was bumping in the morning, and I just remember, Go, shawty, it's your birthday. Yeah, and I used to be like, yo. I used to get down at the Camry in my school backpack and walk out like this. Like the kids were looking at me. I went to like an all white school, and the other kids looking at me kind of weird. I was like, that's my ride.
Nice.
And then I got into the local scene when I saw a lot of my friends doing some hip hop, and I was like, I don't know if there's like a platform for like them, and I was like, let's dive deeper. And then I reached out to KP reached out to me, and then he pointed me to Pike Romero, and he was like, yo, this is all things underground Tucson, Arizona hip hop. And I was like, shoot, let me get that contact. And then the rest was history, because Pike helped me plan my DIY show at the Dunbar. I mean, not even DIY, just a show at the Dunbar. So we go back. That was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago, man.
I was like, dang.
It goes by so quick, man.
It does. It really does.
I mean, I threw my first show back when I moved from when I moved to Oklahoma to now. Like, I threw my first show in like 2014. Okay. And like I sat back just for a couple years just to watch the scene. Like I didn't want to step on toes or anything like that. Like it was a matter of like. And I was already mature at that point. If I was like 20 years old, it would have been a different story. I probably would have gone like full steam. Right. But, I wasn't trying to step on any toes, and I had to like also just like respect like for the OGs and things like that here. So of course, just kind of watch. But yeah, it took me a couple years to like throw my first show here in town. So
yeah, I mean that's a good point you bring up, because it's like you got to find the key players in the city, and you're like, okay, who's already making noise? Like let's come together, kind of, work something.
Well, and especially when you're dealing with money, like you're not trying to take away money from people. Like when it comes to DJing and things like that, like I'm not trying to step on people's toes or like try to jump into a club and just start DJing, because that's $300 I might be taking out of somebody's pocket that like I may not, while I have like the resume for it, but like people don't know who I am. So I also like want to be very cautious about taking people's money. Exactly. That can be very bad. Right. Yeah. I agree. I mean, like, prime example, I'm just thinking about, like you said, 50 Cent. Like there's a story that like Chris Lighty was his manager at the time, and that had just come out in the club and Get Rich or Die Trying and stuff. And he was booked for Tucson before that blew up, and right when that blew up, they ended up canceling the show at the Rialto, and the promoters were out like $20,000 for it. and they were like, we need this money back, and like essentially Chris Lighty like called him up and specifically was like, this is your address, this is your mom's number, this is your mom's name, like we will kill them, you're not getting this money back.
Wow.
And like that was obviously like in the days of like,
right.
Chris Lighty is a man, he's an icon. Like he's an icon. If you ever get a chance, like Google him, go dig in what like his history. Like he's been around since the 80s. He's passed away now. But and there's actually a really good podcast on him in general. I forget who put that out, but anyway, check it out. Chris Lighty though. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Chris Lighty. That's crazy. You said in the reality, you know where your mama live, you know where everybody live.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no man don't play with us.
New York, like, he's telling the promoters like, yo, we got shooters there that are gonna handle this.
Sheesh. Yep. That's
But
crazy stuff, man.
it's not like that. It's not like that anymore though.
Not really.
Let alone do you get shows for $20,000 like that. Like you got to be $20,000 a pretty steep show when it comes to promotion stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Pike, you have a lot of people that look up to you and ask you for guidance and advice. Are you ever going to do like a mentorship program or anything like that?
I don't know. A lot of that comes down to like time. Like I'm at a point in my life where like I'm not doing as much hip hop related stuff. I definitely like when people reach out to me, like I'm always down to take time and talk to them and stuff. And I'm a pretty open book. So I mean, if anybody has any questions, like I'm down to like work it out and talk and stuff. But creating a program or specifically like I like make it a thing. For myself, it's so hard to just like to like make it a big thing. Like I'm at a point where like I want to make it as professional as possible, or make it like just make it worth the time and effort and stuff into it. And so I don't know. I'm at a point in my life where like I've really chilled out on like doing a lot of stuff. The festival is my only thing really. Like that's my only focus. I went from running a blog, wearebuggingout.com, all the way to, running the Tucson Hip Hop Festival, to throwing independent shows, to putting out albums, to, managing artists, to touring and tour managing, booking, all that stuff. So like, I'm always down to give the knowledge out. I just don't know if I could ever really make it a thing. And I said it earlier, like I'm not good with school stuff. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Like I'm this pretty organized person. You kind of have to be. I've kind of trained myself to be that way. But at the same time, like I just kind of want to go with it. If somebody has questions, like feel free to hit me up, please. Like I'm down to help and spread the knowledge. But I don't know if I'll ever make a program per se.
Right.
So
I mean, I could definitely see you on a panel. Definitely. I mean, I can see people paying you to be like, yo, can you sit in and answer some of these questions? I mean,
yeah, that could happen for sure. I'm always down to do stuff like that.
Because I see what Tommy Will's doing out in the studio. I mean, like
For the record.
For the record, yes. I mean,
that's
definitely one of the programs that I would suggest that artists tap in with for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's one thing too. Like, and I had a good conversation with Tommy after the first For the Record, because, For the Record and the roundtables that we started, like, are for that purpose. Like, it's for like people who are trying to figure it out and get, more in depth with their element specifically. So, me and Tommy had a good conversation of like maybe what direction he might want to take that, or where he's going with it, and maybe join in with like the roundtable itself and things like that. Because like at the end of the day, like rappers, like specifically rappers, they tend to just like they need that connection. They need that rapper to kind of help them understand like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, like I'm not a rapper. Even though like I say some good things and I know what rappers should do and what beat makers should do, because I'm not like fluent in that art, like I probably shouldn't be guiding them per se. Right. But I still understand that like I definitely have important stuff to say and be able to help people for sure. But it's people will listen more so because Tommy, that's his lane. That's
exactly
what he does. So you have to recognize that too.
Yeah.
So, and I do recognize that can be a disconnect too from the old and young heads, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that's trying to work with that.
So how's that been? I mean, as a trans, I don't want to be calling out your age and stuff, but I mean, just as that progression. I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's just like
I got gray hairs, man.
Be...
Come on, man, take it out. No, yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing. Like this is definitely a young person's like game. While like there's definitely there's a lot of experience that you get, you know, as you grow and as you like continue to do this, and you'll learn this along your journey. You know, I know you're just starting, and this is really like becoming like your full-time thing, hopefully.
Hopefully.
This is like it's just something you learn eventually. Like I've been dealing with that community stuff like since the mid 2000s. Like in Oklahoma City, we had something called the OKC campaign, and it's just like it wasn't what this is. It was definitely more of like a trying to unify people and trying to be all one, you know, to a certain extent. Right. But what we're doing here in Tucson is not that. And I don't know if we'll ever be unified per se. But you know, I just hope and pray that we are respected amongst each other, because that's what really matters. So, you know, as long as the OGs can respect the young people, and as long as the young heads, you know, respect the old people, you know, and vice versa, like that's what it's about. Exactly. One thing I definitely do like feel that like the youngers, the YGs, like they need to be like more proactive in going to all hip hop events, not just focusing on rap per se, because I mean this is a culture, and that's why the Tucson Hip Hop Festival is so important, because a lot of people don't have that chance. They don't know where to reach out to. They don't know where b-boy jams are every weekend. They don't know where graph battles are at. You know, so it's like it's about that. It's about the culture itself.
Exactly.
You know? And that's why I push that so heavy, because if we don't, that is going to be lost. Like, it's a lost in a lot of ways now. But you know, if we continue to push it, that's what matters. So
exactly, that's a good point you bring. I mean, just like diversifying yourself within the culture. I mean, I think it's
there's no reason. I mean, that's why even last week when Asky was on here, right? Yeah, I asked him about his graffiti name. Like, like I knew that. I knew the answer to that. You know, shout out Asky, right?
Shout out Asky, man.
But at the same time, like a lot of people don't know that he has a graffiti background, that he's, you know, fluent in 2 languages that way, in 2 elements.
Right.
And it's good to see that, because that needs to be stressed amongst other people. And you don't got to just stick with one thing. If you're a beat maker and you rap, do both. Like rap up your own beats. Like, you know, at the end of the day, this is art too. It is as much of a culture. It's definitely art. So however you feel, if you want to take your career, there's so many different ways to go about it. So
yeah, you're dropping gems. I hope somebody's taking notes right now. we'll have to replay on there. We have to replay on there.
Yeah, man.
So Pike, who's currently in your rotation? Like, who are you listening to heavy?
Locally or just in general?
Let's do locally and then in general.
Okay, locally. That's a good one. So GP is like my favorite MC right now in Tucson.
Shout out GP.
Obviously, Asky just dropped a freaking phenomenal. Him and Counted by Chris just dropped a phenomenal EP, which is fantastic. Man, there's so many like. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Bailey, like he just dropped a great EP too. Yeah, I don't know. There's always like there's so many people here in Tucson, so it's hard to just pick, you know, a top 3. But and I typically stay away from lists too.
Right.
I told Gabe that too.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. I could go into it, but I don't.
We're not going to get to it. But how about in general? Who you listening to?
But obviously, man, like I've been like for years now, for the past like 4 years, 3 years, I've been heavy into Griselda, like like Westside Conway, like Benny, like that's been crazy. I've been super like this entire week. I've been listening to the God Fahim.
God Fahim,
man, so good.
Is
so
it
good, man?
Where's he from?
I think he's actually Brooklyn. I think
Brooklyn?
or New York, I should say. I
Okay.
think it's New York. I could be wrong. But
He's kind of just emerging right now.
He's been around for a minute.
Okay.
He's definitely once again like very pretty underground to a certain extent.
Right.
Mac Homie is another one. Mac Homie is amazing. Quelle Chris is really dope right now. Shout out to Mellow Music Group, like based out of Tucson. A huge underground international label that does hip hop and then obviously beats, instrumental stuff.
That's dope. I saw Spiritual with them the other on his little project he did with Lasso.
Yeah, it's amazing. Him and Lasso. That's an incredible album. So yeah. So underground rap. Like that's one thing as a DJ I've faulted in. And that's why I'm not a good club DJ is because I like to break records. Like I that's always been my like I want to break records. Like new records, I'm ready to break it. And that's why I enjoyed like We Are Bugging Out. Like that's why I enjoyed writing, for that because like and that was the whole purpose of that. When I moved back to Tucson, like I was finding hip hop and stuff here that like that I wasn't seeing anywhere else and I didn't see any outlets for it. So that's why that was created. So I was able to blog what I was enjoying and seeing and watching, and that's what it was. So
that's what's up. And then you had the Roy Cortez help you out with We Are Bugging Out, right? You kind of brought him in.
Yeah. So after I got tired of kind of like writing and stuff like that, I was still writing, but like he posted like a comment. Actually, I should rewind a little bit. I was kind of just watching. It was kind of just like watching his Twitter, watching kind of his Facebook and just kind of what he was talking about and seeing like how involved in like talking about rap he was. Right. And at that time that's what he was always talking about. Like he was always talking about rap. Like, and it was like underground rap too. Like it wasn't just normal Tucson rap or anything like that. It was like just rap. Like it wasn't Drake, it wasn't Kendrick. It was just like all genres of it, and that's my lane. I love that. So he posted one time like, man, he's like, I just need to start a blog, something, and I was like, okay, like I didn't respond to it, and then I saw it, or I saw that he posted that, so I DM'd him. I was like, yo, man, like if you want to write, like feel free to come and write. Like I'm really like I don't have much time for it anymore. Right. Like, feel free to like write and do what you want with it. And so we met and gave him all the passwords. I was like, here, man, here's your platform. Go for it. Just start writing. And so, yeah, he held that down. 2017, he held that down pretty much all year. He screwed it up because he like clicked on something wrong. And he clicked on something wrong in Squarespace because that's the website we were using. Yeah. It ended up like giving us a free trial of something for no reason. And it messed up the entire like system, the structure of it.
Oh no!
So it was just a clumsy mistake, but
God, dang it!
All good. Royal won, man, and that's what kind of ended it. Honestly, like once that happened, like I didn't have much time. I couldn't get it fixed, and finally got it fixed, but then just didn't put time into it after that. So yeah. But now he's got it. He's got Crowns and Thrones.
Crowns and Thrones, man.
Yeah, it's tight.
That's what's up. Man, what you sipping on in that drink, Pike? I don't know. He's throwing his word.
Water.
Oh, water. Okay.
Ski man. No, I'm 2 weeks. 2 weeks clean of soda.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah, thanks. I figured like with everything going on, and obviously health, like I should probably lose weight. I've always like that's always been a struggle for me, like losing weight. But at the same time, like, man, what's going on in these streets? Like, I'm not prepared. Like. I can shoot somebody, but at the same time, like I can't run from somebody. So like, if something really was to go down out in the streets, like I'm
done. I'll be done.
yeah, for sure. So
man, Pike, that's what's up. That's what's up.
That's awesome. So Pike, is there anyone that we need to keep an eye out for, like music wise, up and coming, that you know of?
Snowbooks.
Like I think locally GP is that guy right now. He's dropped two incredible albums. That is and I didn't know anything about GP. That I found out through Who's Hotter, through the competition we did with them for the Tucson Hip Hop Festival. collaboration, and I blown away, man. Like his performance was something that like it was a performance. Like it was literally like he put a table down. He brought in a bottle of liquor, which I don't think was really liquor, it was water, but still like it was like still an open container inside of a bar. Like, and he really played it up like as a drunk and things like that. And like it was outside of being different from the competitors, like his performance was good. It was so on point. I hit up Tommy Will that night, like the same thing. I was like, yo, like this is somebody you need to get with. Like you need to get with GP and try to like groom him to be a better performer, because he definitely thinks he needs to work on for sure.
Right,
but
of course.
Off top, like he was incredible. He was great. So GP, that's like my favorite right now. So that's who everybody should be. And I'll say this, it reminded me, like I've seen Kendrick Lamar like a long time. Like I saw him in 2010. I saw him like in 2012, 2013, and like I hadn't felt like watching Kendrick Lamar like I had like I've watched. GP reminded me of watching those shows. And so that's what kind of like I kind of had that feeling where I'm like, okay, this is something. There's something there. There's something here. So yeah,
that's what's up. That's dope.
Yeah.
So before we get to any more questions, man, we're gonna run the Tucson Hip Hop Festival 2018 Cypher and let everybody see this real quick. Here it is. I was trying to get the 2021, but man kind of said no.
Just notice your ceilings, my flows. There ain't no ceilings past those. Told my little bro, push yourself places you wouldn't go. Cause your comfort zone can hold you from your true potential. I rock my heart like a gold rope with a medallion froze. I know folks who act like bros cause they think that we cold and end up getting too close and get burnt like some toast. And it's just that friendly competition. Can't take the heat, get out your kitchen. Dudes get washed up like the dishes and it's just the fucking scrimmage. I've been killing since an infant. Toddler with a 357. Send your favorite rapper to heaven. No competition looking distant. Lost between dimensions. Haters with no incentive, so pretentious. I'm out here just trying to get a fucking picture. We've been offended, you finna fetish, you think you're fickle. Your second fiddle, your message little, I'm beneficial. I better hit you, you've been contemplating on his faking all the product placing. It's caught a case of my bottom basis. They probably think the kid just wants the rapper life. They focused on the money, then they wonder why they half as nice. I'm bragging like my rapping tight, laughing when I'm smashing mic. I trapping with compassion, I'm spazzing, I never had to write. I write raps so the city can grow faster. I write raps cause the kitty will pull past you. You might snap, I've been packing a punch blaster, snatching your lunch mastered, having to lunge backwards. I was born in New Orleans but transplanted to Tucson. The transition was classy and I passed me the grade coupon. A friendly competition, I found some rappers to coupon. I'm a son all of you bastards and open me up a Groupon. Picture Donald Trump with explosives strapped to a Yukon. That's the effect you get from my flow like watching a newborn. I came to lay all shit down like a futon. I'm taking over your city, I'm welcoming y'all to Tucson. It's free 99, but you probably gon' need a coupon. Before you jump in the shit, make sure the water is lukewarm. I eat Webble Canaveral and get it on tough when Utah to head back to the east. Catch the bus to the U-Dog. Almost lost my job trying to make it down the pre-trial. Almost laughed the crackhead, the dummy was acting sick now. I bought a couple of Fijis and the blunt to have a sit down and start the conversation with this is the place to be now.
This is a retribution, don't get your life lost. Flow so clean, think we've been eating tight paws. This is a type of fire coming out the tuck. When we said we packing heat, we wasn't just talking guns. These streets are breeding ground for cheese. Homie, please, you only going hard on your knees. This daddy got you fuming, your belly making movement. Flip another switch, baby, that's an execution.
Bars! Funk Flex air horns, drop them.
Desert Storm.
That's what's up, man. So what was that process like? I mean, just how did that come about with SD Visions and setting up the cipher like that?
How did that come about? So pretty much we needed somebody to record, right, the video. I'm trying to think the process of when I hit up Sonny. Well, obviously, like getting together with like Jocelyn and Jerron that year, and kind of talking about who would be good for the cipher, and we really wanted a good range of who's obviously of who's performing, kind of who we thought might be the hottest in Tucson at that time, who's doing like the most work, and kind of to showcase somebody new. Right. And so like Ill V, she's been around, like she's been in the battle scene for a minute. So like we knew that like we had to have woman representation in general, like just in general on there. And so, and plus she just got bars, like she's down to just literally be like in battles. So like that's most rappers don't do battles. So like I knew that she'd be down. Ray, like just like this is like right at the start of Ojalá, like they weren't even like they were collaborating and talking about stuff, but they weren't what they are now, right? Like they're transformed into being what's next for Arizona, what's next in Tucson. Definitely. So he was given Woodrow was like brand new to the scene to a certain extent. Wow. I think he's 17 in that video, maybe 16. Really? I forget. I want to say he's what was that? 20? That was 2018. Yeah. So now I think he just. I don't know. He was. I think he's 17 in that video. So he was brand new to the scene, like fresh. And then Zeus, like Jesus, like he's super dope, man. Like he's a transplant from New Orleans, and he can just write. And I knew that like his story, like who he is, like he's once again he's been around for a minute, like he's been around for a while. So he's just a seasoned veteran. He knows what to do when to rap in cipher situations. So it was just a given, man. And that was to kind of show the diversity of that year. Yeah, that was important. It was dope. Zeus on. And Zeus on. Yeah. And then we had SD. Like SD had, I don't know if he didn't just start doing videos at that time, but because he did some video stuff for us in the past too. But that was like the first year that he was like really getting popping with videos. Okay. And so we're like, why not? Like he was the guy. He still is the guy. Like SD's killing.
He still is, man. He's popping. You're right. He's
popping, man. So, yeah, we just thought, hey, let's go down to. That was shot in Engel Studios. Okay. And shout out to them. They're like basically our partnered, like recording studio for Tucson Hip Hop Festival. So like, if we have to do any recording, any of the ciphers, anything like that, I just hit up Ty and we just go down there and record it, put it out. So that's dope. He had some lights laying around with just like it was all done in that specific studio. Wow. So which wasn't the original plan.
No, you're just
all the MCs, they all agreed to meet up at Ray's house at 1202 Studios and record that track, pick the beat, record the track, things like that. And the beat was made by OTM. That's One Track Minded. Amazing producer. So
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's super dope.
Yep.
So how was the Tucson Hip Hop Festival affected by COVID? I mean, we're talking about the 2018 one, but I was like looking forward to 2021. I was like, we better get this popping, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously we had to push it back, and it's pushed back to October 17th. There's stuff we had planned that obviously is canceled for sure. Like there's other events that we had planned to go along with it the day of and the day before, that are kind of up in the air still. But yeah, I mean it's unfortunate. I mean there's nothing, there's nothing we could do like outside of the public safety. Like that's obviously the biggest concern. You got to worry about insurances, like. Right. And that's something I gotta worry about, for October. So, we'll see what happens there. It's definitely like we've postponed it, but it's a 50-50 still. Like it's still out there, yeah. Not that we cancel it, but changing it to a different format, maybe. Obviously like online presence right now is huge. streaming, live shows, concerts, things like that. That's a big popular thing right now. So trying to transition maybe to a digital festival. Not saying that that's what we're doing, but we have to keep that in mind. And me and Josh, we actually haven't talked much about doing that. But
you still want to keep the in-person type of thing going on. I mean, makes sense.
I think it's hard to imagine hip hop not that way. Like, hip hop started on blocks. Like, it started block parties. It started in the parks. Like, that's how it started. Like, in not having that element of being all together to celebrate what's happening here in Tucson in the town and stuff. It's hard to say, okay, let's transition to a digital festival because we lose that element. And that's honestly like, we can celebrate via online. At the same time, like, it's not the same,
Yeah, it's definitely not.
And it's not that it's good or bad. It's just not the same. It's hard to represent hip hop in that way, with all four elements. But I got some thoughts. Like, there's definitely like things in my mind that I think could work out. But logistics, that's what it comes down to, is logistics.
Yeah, exactly.
So
right now, looking like October 12th. Hopefully, we
October
still get
17th.
October 17th. I don't know why I said 12th. 17th.
Yeah,
sorry.
October 17th.
I'm about to get everybody wrong. They're about to show up, and they're about to be like, "See, what you mean?"
Right.
17th, y'all.
Yeah.
So, Pike, being a co-director of the Tucson Hip Hop Festival, where do you want to see the festival in the future? Like, what is your end goal with it?
This is something I struggle with a lot, because I think there's people and there's other festivals national wide that see us and are confused to why we do it or how we do it, and that it's interesting, and it's also it tells me that we're doing something right. Even they validate that we're doing something right. But at the same time, having to where do we grow? Where do we grow from here? So in my mind, like, this was created to emphasize local hip hop, Arizona hip hop, regional hip hop, but like not to be blown up. Like, it's literally a celebration of what we're doing here in the city. From all aspects. It's not a Pike show. Like, if I wanted to just be a hip hop festival, like, I could have done that. Like, that's not. Yeah. But like, there's a reason why we have a 12-person team. There's a reason why we incorporate who's hotter and like all the different stuff that's going on in town. Trying to incorporate all the different venues and have a diverse schedule, because like that's what's happening here in Tucson. So there's people that pressure us to be like, yo, you need to go bigger. You need to have more, more national acts, more local acts, whatever. Like, it's always that push and pull. So I think at this point, honestly, like, to say that Tucson hip hop, does it represent it? This year definitely represents Tucson hip hop. Do I think the futures will be not, I wouldn't say less representative, but maybe less Tucson acts? Probably. We're getting to the point where this year we had more people apply for the festival than we did inside, like from Tucson. So like, we had more out of state than we had in state in town.
Wow.
So it's also a point of like, okay, we have to listen to the community too. So if the community is not as engaged with it, then we gotta figure out what's going on there. What do they want to see? And go and just kind of go with that, because this is still like, while there's certain leaders of it, like, we're very in tune with what's going on in the city. Yeah. And people may not think that. I mean, because once again, I think it's that same thing of like, the younger heads and the older heads, like younger heads possibly thinking they're getting overlooked or shadowed or whatever. And I see that, but then there's a bunch of OGs that like get mad at me, like they're like you didn't put me on. Like, how did you not put me on? The emails I get from people, man, are crazy. So I get it from both. Yeah, and that's okay. Like, I don't get hurt by it. Like,
No, I mean,
it doesn't affect me by any means. But at the same time, like, there's nobody should not feel like disrespected by not being on the festival.
right.
Yeah.
Because it is important to be on the festival, and if you're utilizing the festival as far as like putting it on your resume and your EPKs and things like that, like that's how you should be used. At the same time, like we are still a localized festival, and then at the end of the day, like yeah, we're throwing a rap show like with a bunch of local rappers, so like we I mean it's you might see the same person that was rapping 2 weeks ago at the festival. Like I get it,
Right.
So yeah.
And I think that's dope though. I mean, just keeping the community aspect and trying to keep the community aspect alive, because I mean, it could get lost,
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like that's the whole point.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if you bring in, I mean, as you start bringing in out of state artists, then the community's gonna be like, "Yo, what happened to us?" And you'd be like, "Well, y'all weren't messing with it. Like, what are we supposed to do?"
Right. And that's what we have to figure out. And that's definitely where it's leading. Not that the locals aren't messing with it.
Right.
It's just a matter of growth. And we started, before the Tucson Hip Hop Festival name, and we had some complications that I won't get into here, but the Tucson Hip Hop Summit was a thing, and it was kind of that was like their first year of this.
Okay.
Technically, our first year was the Tucson Hip Hop Festival, and it was 2017.
Okay.
But in 2015, I threw the Tucson Hip Hop Summit, which was definitely a focused, like localized, like thing, where we had panels that discussed like basically all elements with OGs and things like that. And at the Scratch Shack, like that was amazing times, man. So, yeah, that was the start of it, and we could definitely go back to that specifically.
Right.
Like, I could create the summit, and we could do it just based on more locals. Tucson Hip Hop Festival could grow into an actual hip hop festival. Well, not an actual. It is an actual hip hop festival.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like not focused on locals.
Exactly.
So yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah.
So talking about Tucson and Arizona, do you think we have a distinct sound as a state and as a city, or do you think a sound even matters at this point? For a city or state.
Yeah, I think there's a specific sound. It's more in the language than it is anything else. I think it's in, people's upbringing and how they talk per se. Like, I think spiritual is a prime example. I think Ohala is a prime example of that. At the same time that like Tucson is a city of transplants,
right?
Like, and so we're getting, we get everybody, like we get everybody here. So
yeah, definitely.
It's hard to find that sound. And in this day and age, obviously, like people want to sound like what they're seeing online, and what they're hearing. So you have a lot of that. I can go find a Jack Harlow wannabe like right now if I wanted to,
right?
And it would be Tucson artists or whatever. But like at the same time, like where's the originality in that? What how does that show Tucson? So you got Cash Lansky, like he's super original. He's a transplant. Like he's not from here originally. So and there's a lot of different people that are way. So
yeah.
It's a melting pot. Yeah, exactly. So and that's part of how we treat it. Like that's why we push the diversity factor so much for the Tucson Hip Hop Festival, because that's what it is. It's not we don't have a specific sound just yet.
Right.
But there's definitely people that represent Tucson and sound like what Tucson should sound like, in my opinion.
Right.
But at the same time, like AZ, like when I think about AZ, like obviously Phoenix is so bad about this. Like they always say AZ hip hop, AZ this, AZ that, and they're talking about Phoenix.
Right.
Like they don't represent what Tucson is at all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So how do we?
There's the Flagstaff has hip hop, Yuma has hip hop, Casa Grande has hip hop. I found there's a dude in Safford that does hip hop. Like, there's shout out to Soul Point.
Soul Point, yeah, Bisbee.
Like Benson, like that's where Benson, and like there's like hip hop, everywhere.
There is definitely.
And off top of that, I mean, once again, mentioning Mellow Music Group, like that's another like staple here in town. Like that's an internationally known label.
Right.
You have producers that are here. Shout out to Amplified. Like he's done numerous stuff with J Bug and Ty Dolla $ign and a lot of things. And he's based in a small town, like not even like based in a small town. He's part of Battle Cat's like production team.
Wow.
We got the Beat Plug here in town. Like the Beat Plug is like he sells and leases beats online. Like there's tons of like people here in town that like do this for a living and do good for a living, you know? So it's like
exactly
you can get out and get it. Like there's no reason for you to not get it. Shout out to Jamar. Like Jamar's here. You know, like
shout out
Jamar, man, like he DJs for Safari. Like that in itself is amazing. Like you know, so
it is. Yeah. It's crazy. So we're gonna take one of the Facebook questions, or you want to go? Do you have anything to ask, Daniela? I bet. I'm over here this time.
Do you want to do the Facebook question?
Yeah, can we?
Yeah. Okay. So, one of the Facebook questions was, "What's the process in setting up the Tucson Hip Hop Festival?"
Oh gosh, we got like another hour. Another hour to go.
She said, we got 10 minutes. We're gonna condense it down to 10 minutes. The quick and dirty version.
I mean, the process is like, let's hear from the community, see what the community's up to. What do they want to see? Talk about it with the team. You know, each ambassador is pretty much very either notable or know what's going on in the scene. You know, and that's from you know, rap ambassador, producer ambassador, DJ ambassador, dancing ambassador, graffiti ambassador. And so we just kind of talk it over, and then we got photo on the team. We got, you know, SD like video on the team. We got social media on the team. We have tons of volunteers like Mariel. I mean, she's freaking amazing. So it takes all these people to do this. So it's not just it's hard to say what it takes to set it up, because there's just like there's just so much. There's so much from printing banners to graphic design, insurance, getting venues, trying to make it unique. Like that's like the most important, probably the most important factor. You know, trying to hit up all the media outlets, you know, being very like media is still very looked at in Tucson as a very kind of a strange thing. So it's about working with relationships that you might have already had with media people, to kind of get your foot in the door. But once you're in there, like you're in. So that's important. I don't know. That's kind of a quick, I guess, like. And then we got to go through the submissions. Like me and Gabe this year went through the submissions, and that's a process.
So what do you look for in the submissions? I mean, like when you're going through an artist, you're just like, what's some of the categories you got to check off?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously read their bio. We check out their links, whether that's social media, press. If they really catch our eye, then we dig a little deeper. Right. But like when it comes to like getting picked or chose, like it's really like it's diversity. Like that's what it comes down to. Like it's not like did we have this person on last year? They probably won't get picked this year. Like it's that cut and dry. Yeah. So you know it's not there's never any favoritism. There's never any like, oh, like this guy's got beef. Like, you know, we've had definitely controversial people on there.
Right.
And I don't even want to say his name because he's a troll. But anyway, like, yeah. So like you know, we give people like that a slot. Even we gave Young Davon a slot. You know,
Young Davon.
That was his second show ever. And like, you know, but he was like, Johnny Red at that time was the rap ambassador. And like, we just rolled, like we just died laughing at his bio, because his bio is pretty much all emojis. And like, we're like, this is intriguing. And then we clicked his links and it was like a bunch of meme rap. And he was like extremely funny.
Definitely.
And we're like, wow, this is like unique and interesting, and especially like linking forward. At that time, like not very many people knew this, but like memes in general were like something that was like memes were popping, but they weren't popping. Like at this time, like record labels, I had known that like record labels were paying people to create memes for like album rollouts. And that was something like looking at Devon and be like, that struck me. Is like, there's no other rapper that's like posting that they're meme rap. So that's just one, that's just one example.
Yeah.
But even like Woodrow, like,
Woodrow.
Being 16, like 16, 17, yeah.
He definitely didn't sound 17 in that cypher. I was like, this dude has to be at least 21. I mean, just the cadence he had and just I was like, yo, what?
He cares about rap. And that's what's exciting about him.
And we love it. We love that.
Yeah. Shout out to Woodrow.
Woodrow, man. So, Pike, where can everybody follow you, man?
Smash Lames on everything. Instagram, Twitter.
And Pike responds on Twitter. Be careful what you tweet.
Do you have a run-in with that, Daniela, or what? What happened?
So many times.
Yeah, I like fun on Twitter. I like Twitter. Let's see. Instagram is cool. Like I don't use my feed that often. I don't know, man. I've really been cutting back. Like honestly, like it's been 2 years since like I've really focused on putting on a hip hop show. Right. Unless if it wasn't for the festival. So like I really like that we need people to take the reins. We need more managers. We need more, booking agents. We need more media people. Like this is something that like Tucson needs. I'm happy to have helped like start, like shout out to Grimy L. Yeah, I'm sure you guys don't know who Grimy L is, but shout out to Grimy L. He started like he was doing video stuff like this on YouTube a long time ago. Like he was doing super underground rap, like nerd underground rap. But we just need more of that. We need more of this. And obviously respect for each other. That's the most important factor. So yeah,
that's what's up. Man, I hope somebody got a note back, like a note page and a journal or something with all these gems that Pike was dropping, because I'm gonna need the flip notes version. Pike, man, we appreciate you having you on the show, man.
Pike.
Awesome. Everybody that watched, thank you for watching. Yo, we out.
It's like Nardwar.